And I'm going to say something so cringe, but
Get it.
it's funny. But my journey lately has been breaking character.
Damn,
Roll credits!
What?
No, but genuinely. Welcome back to the Breaking Character podcast. My name is Kennedy, and today we are chatting with Josh Sterling.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
And we had such a great conversation, right? Oh, I forgot. Josh, how do people know you?
Oh, I'm not famous at all.
That's okay,
I'm just
me
additional
neither.
voices. Black Desert Online, Delta Force.
Well, great. We're two not famous people
Listen,
having a
there's
conversation. We talked a little bit. We talked a lot about being in the moment, being present. We even talked about addiction and self-worth. And I think I came away learning a lot of things specifically that are beneficial to my life and are just good reminders for us all. So I hope you guys stick around because it's a good one. You said that you dealt with addiction.
Mm-hmm.
If you're comfortable, tell me more about that. We've never dove into that topic before.
Yeah. Not many people are very comfortable talking about addiction because
Right.
there's also the thing about addiction, specifically what I experienced, which was alcoholism. There are very strong thoughts of what the appropriate course of recovery is, especially in America. So I grew up around addiction, and I was very against alcohol for a very long time. I didn't drink until I was probably 24 or something like that.
But those surrounding you did?
Yeah, I mean, it was college, so it was like I
sure,
was around,
sure.
I mean, yeah, of course. I remember one of my first college parties and I had said I'd never been drunk. People just lost their minds. They're like, we got to get him drunk. And I guess, yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do.
I guess so.
But I didn't really have a problem with it until later on. It just kind of snuck up. It just kind of happened. The thing about addiction is that it works until it doesn't. And I always when I say life unfolds perfectly, and all these things about us, like the things that we're embarrassed to talk about, like if you really break them down, they all have a purpose. Mm-hmm. We do those things on purpose. The addiction, for whatever reason, protected me. It kept me small. It hid me from myself.
It allowed you to fit in, I bet.
Allowed me to fit in. There's a certain amount of this month is 5 years that I haven't drank, and the experience that I had right after, now I don't think about it. Now I don't care, which is funny to think because I struggled with it for 10 years, really hard struggled with it.
You said alcoholism works for you until it doesn't. What does that mean?
Addiction in general works for you because alcohol does, whatever your drug of choice, whether it's alcohol, whether it's caffeine, whether it's nicotine, whether it's alcohol, whatever that thing is, it does something for you. And that can be something different for everybody. I mean, it could be a protective thing. It could be, it feels good.
Right, is that boost.
Yeah, it's that boost.
That rush, that
yeah,
short
exactly.
term. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's finding something else that does that, if you can't do it for yourself, is addiction is usually, going back to what I said earlier, I'm complete and whole as I am. I believed that alcohol would complete me. It gave me something. Whether it was confidence in a moment, whether it was just not thinking about my life, whether it was just not being me. I took a break from acting for a very long time, and because I moved to LA to be an actor, and at one point I had to make a decision to do something else, just for practicality's sake. I went to audio school and blah, 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 but I had made a choice to put acting aside. And I would go so far as to say when I was growing up, acting saved my life and it was my purpose. And at least this is how I believe of the situation of how I felt about myself moving forward, was that I stopped honoring a part of myself which was the acting, which was that thing. And something inside me started dwindling. In terms of, I didn't feel like me in my life. I wasn't doing this thing that was so important to me.
What did that like feel like in your body? How did you?
I wasn't
how did you
aware
feel
enough
that?
to really be able to. It's like when you're sad and you don't know why you're sad.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have. If I'm honest, who I am now compared to who I was then is much different because I have a lot more tools. I had an amazing therapist that helped me through addiction. That gave me tools, and I have years of training and meditation and other things that have given me tools to be more aware of how I'm feeling, or like on a deeper level of being able to be like, what is that truly? But addiction really, like it works until it doesn't. It's really as simple as like it gives you something. It does give you something. And I know that it's hard for people to see it, but because they don't want to, because it's so like, I mean, addiction is such a shameful thing.
Sure, even just the word itself brings up so many strong emotions.
Yeah, it's shameful.
And that's probably why so many people struggle with it for so long too, is like earlier when we were slightly talking about like this isn't something people want to bring up, even if they're not struggling with it, even if they're not the ones who quote are addicted, because it is based all around shame.
There's certain things and expectations that we're supposed to follow.
Yeah.
And so with addiction, like it works until it doesn't, is just kind of like it gives you something. And then at one point, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It stops fulfilling whatever that it was doing for you. You grow as a person. It depends. Like I learned this concept that it's not an original concept, but I heard, and I don't even remember who said it, but it's like you have to want to change more than you want to stay the same. So if you really want to change yourself or change your life, you have to really want it.
What was that moment for you? When was the moment, if there was, or if it was gradual, where you decided you wanted to change?
It was gradual. There was a thought process where it was like, I never want to feel like this again. This feeling, not just hungover, but feeling small, feeling shitty. I don't ever want to feel like this again. And like, it was a lot of process. It was a lot of trying. I tried traditional methods of recovery, like the anonymous programs.
Right.
I have personal experience of that program from growing up that unfortunately gave it a flavor for me. I am never going to be somebody that says that doesn't work, because that's unfair. Because it does work for some people. It doesn't work for everybody, and I'm one of those people. And so I had to find, so when it comes to addiction and recovery and blah, 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 I tell people, find what works for you. Because we're not all cookie cutter. Even medication, like I think you and I have talked a little bit about medication, where it's just like it's not going to work the same for everybody.
For sure.
Even you're like, I have a family member who's we commiserate about ADHD sometimes and being late diagnosed, and it's like well, this medication works for me, but it doesn't work for me. Those kinds of things where it's like, and like when it comes to addiction, find what works for you. For me, it was therapy, it was meditation, it was a whole bunch of different things. That gave me the tools that I needed.
Tell me how your life differs now than it was back then.
I feel more complete because I see more value in myself. I have no judgment or anything of people that drink. That's not the problem.
Yeah.
Drinking is not the problem.
No, definitely
It's your
not.
relationship with alcohol and what it does for you. That is the problem. And for me, alcohol completed me. Or it took over my life. So then it was just, I felt much more empty. I was just kind of living. I almost felt like day to day. I had an addiction to nicotine as well, but alcohol was the big
Sure.
one. But this thing was my life, because it can be like a circle of shame. you did the thing, now you're shameful about it, and it's just this, I'm not going to do it again, and then you do it again, and you're shameful, blah, 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 and it just keeps spiraling and out of control. Because like when you're stopping an addiction, you have to learn, like when I said it works until it doesn't, now you need to find what does.
Yeah.
And that's going to change. That's going to change all the time of what's going to work. You're going to be like I was talking to somebody the other day, it's like, I love meditation. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I have to change it up. Sometimes I got to do no music. Sometimes I got to do music. Sometimes I got to do guided. Sometimes I got to do nothing.
Yep.
Sometimes I got to not meditate. You know, it's like sometimes it's going to change. And so nowadays, like with when I was on my full on, like I saw a therapist. That's what really truly started it. And talking to him and developing tools to when I feel like I need to drink. It's like, I mean, it's all kind of like a cliche of like, oh, okay, what are your triggers? That kind of thing, like what makes you do the thing? Why do you want to do the thing? What is it doing for you? And being in those moments and being much more aware of those moments. And it applies to really anything, but he gave me this tool called dispassionate observation. And really it's the ability to look at your thoughts and your feelings just as they are. Not attaching any sort of...
No judgment,
no judgment.
Feelings, just observing them.
Just observing them, and you're seeing them, and you're not getting hooked into them.
Yeah.
And alcohol at the time, back then, whatever I was feeling, alcohol could take that away. But it doesn't take away the feeling. Eventually that feeling is going to come back. I also have this thing, I'm super judgmental of myself when I hear myself complaining about something I can change. Or when I don't like when I hear complaining, because, and maybe that's my toxic trait, but it's like when there's change that can be made, action can be taken.
Yeah.
Not everything you can change yourself, and not everything you can change right now.
Of course.
But you can change things.
Yeah. In very small ways sometimes, but it's change.
Yeah.
Why do you think people choose to complain versus take action?
God, it feels good to complain. Like if you're complaining, you're complaining to somebody. Sometimes you complain to yourself, but not as much. But when you're complaining to somebody, you're commiserating, there's this something to drama that's just so tasty.
Especially when you share the same opinions, you go back and forth, you build on each other, you fuel the fire.
Yeah, and you just keep like getting into it.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's like not even real anymore. Now it's just like you're just like building this like weird complain thing, and it's just this, I don't know, and it's just like that began to weigh on me of just like I am just mad and sad and complaining about this thing that I know for a fact I can change. I may not know that I can. Like it's like I always kind of say to myself and to others, it's like, you know, tell yourself that you can until you believe it. Even when you don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, that's how I apply that to myself of like, fake it till you make it. It's just like, I don't believe affirmations are magical. They are just you changing your brain.
And that's most of the time when it comes to problems like that internally, that's also how you solve them, is internally, changing your mindset first.
Yeah.
Which sounds so like dude bro podcast. You just change your mindset.
Just like change your thoughts, change your life,
think
bro.
Positive. Literally my least favorite thing to hear.
Think positive, bro.
But our thoughts do have so much power because our eyes are the way we see the world.
And it's just psychology.
Exactly.
It's just the way that and it's not, like I can say some pretty woo-woo shit right now. I can, and I believe it. But when you break it down, there's a psychology to it where you're just like, listen, you know, you can change your thoughts and it can change your patterns. It can change how you react to something. It can change, which changes your action.
Exactly.
It's like a belief, and what you believe about yourself is just a repeated thought.
Yep.
Over and over, and whether it's somebody else's thought. I was bullied a lot growing up, so it's like I believed what they told me.
Sure.
And it continued into my life, and whatever I heard from family or teachers or whatever the F. It's like, and then when you're aware of those things, you start to get to change those things. That's why I was saying like mindfulness is so important in that. If I were to like say like what's the most important tool I've ever learned, and it is that dispassionate observation. Yeah. Being able to feel like shit, know that you feel like shit, but not really give it any heat.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to feel like shit. You're allowed to be mad. You're allowed to be sad. But it doesn't mean that it has to have any power over you. Mm-hmm. It's like that, another like, kind of like bullshit, like kind of woo-woo thing of like happiness is a choice. It's like, yeah, it is, but you're also allowed to be mad.
Of course.
You're allowed to be sad.
Especially when things happen to you and in situations where you don't have a lot of control.
Yeah.
Nobody is expected to be like, well, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Lately I've been saying you go through emotions,
Mm-hmm.
you get through things, you don't get over them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
that's the way to get over them, is to get through them.
Yeah, you have to like honor them.
Yeah.
It's, I always had it, but somebody gave me words for it a few years ago. It's a military phrase, but it's embrace the suck. And it's like, I say that to myself, and I'll say it to friends sometimes too, where I'm just like, you know, it's just like, we're in it right now.
Yeah.
Things suck right now.
Yep.
I can either like really dig, whan, get in there and just like really just like be fetal in the corner, or I can be like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, life sucks right now. Let's do it.
So
We're
there
just
is
here.
this balance of both things being true at once, of feeling the suck,
Yeah.
but at the same time also being able to view them from an outside perspective.
Yeah.
And as you said, being dispassionate about them.
Because the irony is that it's like, as you start doing that, you start to the sadness, the anger, or whatever, you start to realize sometimes how stupid they are. Like anger specifically, like I wasn't given permission to be angry until much later in my life, because it was something that I was like shameful about. Like I didn't like it because I had somebody in my life that had a really bad kind of stupid temper. But I was like, I just never wanted to be that.
I relate.
And
I feel you.
where I was like, I just don't want to do that. And then somebody was like, you're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be, my past therapist was like, you're allowed to be viscerally angry. You're allowed to wish somebody harm in the moment. Doesn't mean you're going to do anything about it.
Doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Doesn't mean that you're going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
These thoughts that you have, it's okay.
They're just thoughts.
They're just thoughts. They're just feelings, but we're taught that they're true.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is we're taught that they're true. How you
Speaking
feel.
my language.
How you feel is true, and it's like, is it? Is it though?
Seriously.
Like
just
nervousness,
because
is it true?
I think that, I don't remember who I was talking to about this. It might have been on the podcast, but just because a thought pops into your head, it doesn't mean it's true. Because again, we are our own unreliable narrators. Mm-hmm.
Because it might not be your thought.
Yeah.
It might be something that somebody gave to you.
Yeah. It might be something you picked up.
Yeah. And you're like, and when you start like listening to your thoughts and you're like, ew, I don't believe that. It's gross. No.
Do you ever have those thoughts that pop in that you're like, I should feel this way? I should, like, I don't know. For me, it's like, I have this big thing coming up, this big speaking whatever thing. I'm so nervous. And then I go, wait, I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
But there's this way that the world works where we are supposed to be angry, be not angry.
It's realizing those too, of like realizing the definitions and that you're breaking them. Of you're like, oh, character growth. I think Coleman Domingo, is that his name? He's an actor.
Yeah.
He said something. He was basically expressing a hot take in an interview where he was like, you know, manifesting isn't a thing. And then when I as somebody who has, I feel so weird saying this, studied meditation or manifestation, I'm like, he basically goes on to say, you know, manifestation is not just about like, oh, you think something and then it happens. You have to do the work. And I'm like, that's manifestation. Belief without action is not belief. Like if you believe, you keep doing the thing. You take a step forward.
That's
you keep doing the thing.
I never thought about it like that. The definition of manifestation is not just thinking something.
Yeah.
What is it?
Manifestation is like it's thoughts and action.
Right.
And if you have the thought that you believe that you can, do the thing. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Mm-hmm. You just keep doing the steps, and you're not attached to what happens.
Yeah.
Or what did happen. You're just kind of like, well, I believe that I can, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Does it take a certain amount of delusion? Absolutely. Absolutely, but it's far better than being sad all the time.
Yeah.
and being mopey and not believing in myself. I could do that. It's far easier to be sad and mad.
And complaining.
And complaining.
All of that stuff.
Than it is to be, I don't want to say happy, but content.
Disciplined.
Disciplined. So it's because sometimes it takes work.
It does.
That kind of stuff, self-care takes work, especially at the beginning. Especially when it's really hard.
I know, and doesn't that just suck? Isn't that the thing that nobody wants to hear?
Nobody wants to hear that. It's just, but once you do it, it becomes cake. Yeah. Then you're like, oh, life does feel better when I do this thing.
And then you get addicted to the good stuff.
Yeah, you're like, hell yeah. Self-love, dude.
I think this is maybe the third time we've had a discussion specifically about being comfortable with discomfort, or not even comfortable with it, but just sitting in it.
Learning to be uncomfortable. I mean, and that's why, like, control. Like, I mean, I think of, just because I've been an actor for most of my life, when I think of, control, releasing control as an actor.
That's terrifying.
Like, especially like with your career, you can't control whether you're cast. You can't control whether somebody wants you.
No.
Somebody in one sentence can say you're amazing and then not cast you.
Yeah.
It's
And it happens all the time, every day.
You can send out auditions and it's like, I love the idea of send it and forget it. I love it because just send it and forget it. It doesn't matter.
Do I have to?
Yeah, let it go.
Fine.
Because you want to be you. Because being desperate, like feeling desperate, feels crappy.
It does. And you're not able to put in your best work.
No.
And then even if you happen to, in an acting standpoint, get cast with that,
yeah.
Now they've put you in something where you're not even authentically you.
It turns into schmacting, I call it, where it's just like you're not even like really like you're just like you're
saying
schmacting.
Words and
yeah, you're just reading. You're like, it's like the difference between high school theater and college theater. It's like you're just like, and I'm saying this for my own, like that's where I started. I started in junior high, and I can look at the actor I was and the actor I am, and I'm like, yeah, there was schmacting. There was like,
yeah.
And then there's like, getting into it and getting into the moment and all that kind of stuff.
There's something that I wanted to say before I forget it. Okay, yeah. Being that puzzle piece and trying to fit in an acting standpoint, and being desperate and not really being authentically you in an audition. And God forbid you get cast as that, because now you're stuck with that. And the thought that came into my brain was the way that can be a metaphor for our lives and our friendships and our relationships, of when you're acting desperate with people, when you're changing yourself for other people, which is something I'm terribly guilty of.
Aren't we all, though?
Yeah. But I found myself stuck with people who don't even enjoy me. They enjoy the front I've been putting up. And
the character that you've played.
In
their story.
Yeah.
And your story and their story, and then your story changes, and when you become the villain in their story, that sucks.
Yep. And I'm going to say something so cringe, but
get it.
It's funny.
Get it.
But my journey lately has been breaking character.
Damn,
roll credits!
What?
No, but genuinely, it's been like, hey, maybe I don't have to fulfill these roles that other people expect of me. Maybe it is being in tune with your own thoughts and coming as you are, being present, all the things we've been talking about today. It's poetry, the way it's all been fitting together. And then that being the reason people cast you, the reason people accept you.
The irony of it.
Because now, if you, quote, get that role, you are accepted and encouraged to be you, really as you are. So.
She did the thing.
I did a thing.
She did the thing.
I have one more question that I want to ask, and for this part, I always like to grab my camera. So my last question, actually no, I have two questions. I want to ask you both of them. The first is the what used to be my last question of the VOlnerable, which is, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself is probably my resilience, is my ability to somehow get through things and try to have joy in it, yeah, I think I really I wouldn't be here if I didn't have it. Mm-hmm. There's a resilience inside me that knows more than, I'm not saying like it's this whatever, there's something inside me. My resilience is what I would say, this true me that just pushes through. Mm. And it's the part of me that can be aware in the moment and be like, you're doing the thing.
Right.
You're being shitty to yourself. You're pretending. You're whatever. You know? There's something inside me that just keeps going.
And I love that. I love that about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now the last question. Any last things you want people to remember from you, from this conversation?
Oh my.
Of just your last words.
My last words. I think the only thing I would ever tell anybody is just remember who you are. You know, remember what you're capable of. Remember that you are enough. Remember that you're strong enough. Remember that no matter what comes into your life, you can do it. Even if you don't believe that you can, you can. And if you don't believe that you can, just tell yourself that you can. Because eventually you can. Trust that. Trust yourself. I think that's what I would say. Yeah.
Woo!
Wow, this is a really pretty shot.
Yeah?
The sunset is like right behind you.
That is so stunning. How about we turn the cameras off and enjoy it?
Let's do it.